Hi, in this video, I'll be sharing with you tips on passing the PMP exam. Tip number one, make sure you choose a convenient date, time, and place to take your exam, right? Environment matters. You don't want to choose, a center. If you want to take it at a center, you don't want to choose a center that is so far from where you live, and thereby adding to your, stress, commuting stress for the exam. And then even thinking about going back home and, traffic and all that. So you want to get out of the way. So if you can, if you're very confident that your internet is okay and your personal laptop is not going to give you any issues and you're not going to have anybody at home, to distract you, and things like that, it might be best for you to take it from home, not even at your office because you don't have control over, except, you're very high up and you've got your own office and you're so sure nobody's going to bump into your office while taking the exam, then it's fine to take it at the office. And some people think their office internet is better than their home internet. So it's all dependent on where you've got all the factors right for the exam. So it could be at the center, it could be at home, depending on where you feel it's most convenient and you meet all the necessary requirements for the exam. So environment matters. Number two, try taking the exam no later than 3 months after completing your training. That way, you're going to keep the knowledge fresh. And like they say, best to strike when the iron is hot. Number three, memorize as much as you can. It's a closed book test, guys. So it's it's your best interest to memorize as much as you can. You can't memorize possibly everything in the PMP guide, the project management body of knowledge guide, but there are certain key things that you need to memorize, like the process mapping, the 49 processes, the way the knowledge areas they're mapped to, the process groups, and what they actually stand for, what they represent, what's documentations or artifacts, what will I find in a risk register? What will I find in a project charter? What does it even do? What's the purpose of this document? So if you have to create flashcards, yeah, just do what you have to do. Any trick at all to help you memorize is encouraged. So do what you have to do. Number four, practice the art of what? Concentrating. That's focusing, while preparing for your exam. That way you are able to what? Read a question once and also your options once, right? Before choosing an answer. You're going to find some questions are quite wordy. The last thing you want to do is get distracted. And you know what they say about the attention span of an average adult is so short. So best for you to what? Practice focus, focus, right? Just read it once, because you've got just less than 2 minutes per question. You're looking at 180 questions, 230 minutes. So you want to avoid distractions. Keep your phones away, even while preparing for the exam. Your phones away, stay off. I've had people stay off social media, just for the purpose of the exam. So that way they can really, really focus. Like they say, multitasking is the greatest enemy of learning. So still, get whatever you need to, whatever is going to distract you while preparing for the exam, get it out of the way. So that way you can focus. Dedicate a study time, while preparing for the exam. So it's very important. Number five, be sure you are well prepared for the exam. In all my years, over a decade plus experience, about 15 years experience as a trainer, right? I'm yet to meet a delegate that will tell me, Tunji, I'm so ready for this exam. Bring it on. There's always going to be, butterflies in our tummy to feel like, wow, I wish I had more time. So how can you tell you're ready for the exam? All right. Attend the training, get your 35 contact hours, read all the necessary books, the reference books, the PMP guide is top on the list, and any other good book out there. Read up, fill up your knowledge gaps, get an in-depth grasp of the concept, right? And then practice as many questions as possible. You can learn through questions. So I normally encourage candidates for the exam to take no less than 4 simulated exams, which is the 180 questions, no less than 4 times. So that way you're trying to get ready for the exam within the time, which is 230 minutes for the exam. All right, put yourself under the exam condition. You're not taking some 10 questions, 20 questions here. No, full 180 questions. While preparing for my exam, I'm trying to practice no less than 1,000 questions. So that way they say practice makes perfect, right? Aim for a score of what? Between the range of 70 to 80%. If the simulator is going to give you a score in percentage and it's going to give you your breakdown by domain, aim for no less than target across the three domains. So that way it gives you confidence you're ready for the exam. What you're doing is what? Testing yourself, testing yourself. Just the way people do test, medical tests to eliminate any thoughts or fear of having a medical condition. Like you go do a COVID test to just confirm, no, I don't have COVID. I don't have COVID. Just do a rapid kit test. Gives you the impression that, oh, okay, I don't have the virus, something like that. So keep doing a test to increase your confidence. Number 6, read wide and wild. Right, you see what that means? So don't limit yourself to what's in the PMP guide. Don't limit yourself to what you only find in your training. You also want to read tidbits or maybe on the internet. You might want to read up on investment appraisal on Investopedia, on the site Investopedia, for example. So that way, you might just want to read up on something called point of total assumption, and just want to read up tidbits here and there, that way it could be a one-page read up on Wikipedia. That could just be it for you. So don't judge your readiness based on one simulator. Use a range of simulators. So it's best for you to what? Over prepare for the exam and have yourself to thank later. Number 7, finishing up is a good step towards passing the exam. I think is Anthony, is this Anthony, is this Steve Hawkins? Yeah, Steve Hawkins must have said, showing up for battle is the first step to winning the war, right? Something like that. So my own version is finishing up all the questions in the exam is your good step towards passing the exam. So manage your time well in the exam, all right? In your first iteration, your first sweep, just make sure you attempt all. Take no prisoners. Attempt all the questions, all right? There is no negative marking, so why shouldn't you leave anything blank? Attempt all. The ones you are not sure of, just mark them for review. So that way, like Terminator, just say, I'll be back. All right. So just come back to those questions. Don't spend too much time on any question because they all have equal marks. So speed is very, very important. So time yourself. All right. Number 8, be well rested before your exam. The last thing you want happening on the exam day is fatigue. All right. I've had someone on his exam day, he just crashed. He was admitted to the hospital, but he still had to go take his exam. Luckily for him, it passed. So the last thing you want is fatigue or breaking down. You want your brain to be calm, you want to be well rested and all that. And during the exam, take breaks. All right. Those 10 minutes breaks, you're entitled to 2 10 minutes breaks. So what I would do, get some fresh air, get a drink if you have to, stretch your legs, do whatever you have to do. Just get a break, get some fresh air, you need it so you don't break down. All right. Number 9, stay positive. You need a positive mental attitude. All right. You need a positive mental attitude. So some people, so like they say, cowards have already failed even before the event. So be confident in your ability to pass. All right. After all, you've put in the work by preparing, so avoid second guessing yourself on some questions, and then thereby you're going to end up changing the right answer. That's not what you need, all right? It's okay to change answers if you found more information or clarity to a question you've already attempted, all right, but you were not sure of the answer, you flagged it for review, and then a new question you're attempting, it's giving you more clarity to that previous question. So it's okay for you to go change it. But I mean, it's a closed book test. So at the end of the day, you just don't want to second guess yourself. All right. And finally, try to use up your time in the exam. All right. Try to use up your time. All right. But if you feel you're done before the exam time is up, rather than just brooding around the questions and you end up changing some of your answers, just go ahead and submit and hope for the best. Cheers. Those are my tips, and I hope you found all of these useful. All right? Cheers.